Hey, good morning, Forex traders. This is Vance Williams out of the Seattle, Washington area here in the United States. Welcome to my morning Forex trading show. It's Thursday, December 18th, and this is the last trading day and show for me this week. I'll be back on Monday and Tuesday, and then we'll be doing the Christmas thing. Today I will be talking about the return of the bullish US dollar. So that's coming up. To see more of what I'm talking about on the show, when you do click the player, make sure you click be part of the conversation. And Washington area. Let me pause that. Then you can follow me on Twitter and find out, when the shows are starting and what I'm going to be talking about a few minutes before it happens. And then you can go to my website, get my book downloads and what have you, and I'll show you that here. You can see the free Forex books, 8 things they don't tell Forex traders. We've had tens of thousands of those downloads. And the first battle is really great for new traders. It's the first book in a 3-part series. And also you can check out my training options. If you're wondering what makes my training different, I'm an actual coach. So most of what you'll see out there is you watching someone else. So they say they're a mentor and a coach, but you're watching them. And a real mentor or coach is actually watching what you're doing. So watching your work. And what I do is a lot more work. It's easy for me to provide you with 1,000 hours of education. I don't even have to get out of bed for that. So remember that distinction. Real coaching is someone watching what you do pretty much most of the time. All right, so let's get out of here and get right into this. I need to stress that what I do on this show is for your educational purposes only. It's not at all intended to show you where to take trades or to be investment advice. It's for your skill development. Sorry for my cough. I got just a little bit of a cough this morning. But fundamentals today, the market interpreted the Fed statements yesterday as very positive for the US dollar. Basically a continuing strong stance that's moving towards a future rate hike, maybe in the middle of the year, maybe as early as April. I think the lack of anything out of the Eurozone central bankers combined with what we saw from the Fed does signal a medium-term go-ahead for the next leg down on the euro. Of course, that's coming at a time when most traders, investors will be unplugging starting tomorrow for a long Christmas holiday. But, in terms of trading and timing and how this unfolded, this is how it goes sometimes. The timing's not always great. But remember, as you go through the holidays, that we are coming into and between and out of the holidays with a clear medium-term sentiment bearish for the euro dollar. I'm going to need to take a closer look at the UK to get a better feel for what's going on there. But I've been saying that long term, it's not as clear for the pound dollar. And I think, part of that's reflected in the amount of buying that we saw in the London session this morning for the pound. We'll take a look at that. In major bank trades this morning, there's been little change. There are only a few major banks trading right now. One of the majors did buy the U.S. dollar yen, as I mentioned yesterday. Maybe it was the day before. I can't recall. But they bought when it came into that daily 38.2 level. And if you guys remember, I actually on one of the shows, I'm going to go to a daily chart. I was pointing out to you guys that since it closed below this, when everybody's wondering what would happen, I'd say it's likely to move to the 116 area. And then I said to watch to see if this daily candle, so that must have been 2 days ago when I said it, closes below this level. It did not. And so one of the major banks positioned right around in here as that unfolded. And that's been a good payoff for that major bank. Okay, so let's talk about the buyer and seller behavior in terms of price movement today. Or right now, I should say. As I said, we have the impetus for the next leg down here on the euro dollar. Let's go out to the 4-hour chart just to show you where they're going to run into some buy orders right in here, the 122.50 area. So we've got to get through there. Let's take a look and see how trading setups are looking right now. Remember, we've got room to move from to 122.50 area right now. That's right. And that's actually, let me see if I can get that up there. There's that barrier right there. Okay. So let's take a look. We're going to have to drop to, we are on the 5 minute. I got to zoom in a little bit. Okay. So I actually had a fib on here, and it had moved down about 19 pips from the start of this new advance down. This is the way I measure this with very specific rules, so I know what kind of advantage the sellers have here and how strong it is. And so they had about 19 pips here, and you can see that it's very strong because they only pull back to 23.6. Now right here, look at this. As they move in and we get to a total move of about 24 pips, then they actually make a nice little pullback to what we look for, that 38.2, and down we go. So hopefully our traders caught that, because that's exactly what we were looking for. And this is one of those situations I want to tell the people on our trading team. This is exactly the situation where you get into this, where you have these skills that you have, where we're using highly precise logic, and you're able to get into this position with a very small stop loss. This is one of those situations where you might be able to actually, once you hit your target, not once it gets to zero, but once you hit your target, this is something that you can document right now. Don't stray off your trading plan, but you can document it here that you're holding this position, just to get a feel for that and a little bit of experience of that, because we've been talking about getting in that highly precision trade, getting into hitting our target and moving that stop to a break even at that point. And let's watch to see if this actually moves and puts you into a better position. Now, where would you hold it to? Well, let's look at the real situation here. Let's go back out to that 4 hour. We're going to have buy orders in this 122.50 area. So 122.50, 55s for the early, for those on early. A lot of times these things will dip through and then boom, grab a lot of. So I'd say 122.55 maybe would be probably the optimal target if you're going to do one of those holds. It'll get you more profit than you're used to making. So that's pretty cool. So those of you who are members, do give that a try. Now, those of you who are not members and don't have complete skills, you be very careful, because our traders can trade the same trade that you're trading, and they make money and you lose money. So you got to have the full package. All right, so moving over to the pound, keep in mind here that with the pound, and by the way, here's this, I'll come to that. The pound, there was a major move yesterday, right? So always be mindful of the context that you're in. There's a major move followed by the buying at this former low, and we get the one buy. This is very common, where you get the buyers, it comes up, makes a move, makes another attempt, and then the buyers really jump on. And so now price is in the middle of that, and a strong US dollar sentiment could drag this down. As I said, I need to get a better read on the UK market. I do not feel that it's clear that we're really long-term bearish pound dollar. That's going to be determined by really the performance of the UK economy. And there are some signs there that they're going to be looking good in the futures. They're making some incredible long-term investments in their children and other things. So we're going to need to get a better look at the macros on that. So I'm going to say that I'm getting that investors may already be positioning for the new year. Stocks are coming back strong today in the United States. So as we come into the holiday, think back about 3 to 4 weeks ago to bullish dollar and strong U.S. economy with respect to U.S. competitors. And by the way, I should say, people hear me say, yeah, the U.S. is doing very well. Remember that when I say that, you're going, oh, but we're printing so much money and there's all these other problems I read on these websites. And I'm specifically talking about how well we're doing versus our competitors. How well is the UK economy doing against the U.S. economy? How well is the U.S. economy doing against the Eurozone? That's what determines the currency prices, right? So it's not. So anyway, that's what I'm talking about. But keep in mind that the risk is increased because of the holidays. And what I'd like to see is what I'd really like to see. I'll tell you what I'd like to see. Let me go to 30 minutes here. I'd like to see whenever this euro does its thing here, I'd like to see a good sizable pullback anytime in the next 5-6 days, today, whatever. That's what I'd like to see, because this sentiment is clearly down right now based on the information that we have right now. So that's about it. I mean, maybe tell you again, be sure and go to forexartofwar.com. Get those free books. I only email about once a week. I don't even think I've emailed for a week now. I don't really like email that much. So it's so abused. But you can opt out anytime you want. So do get those books. Do check out my training options. Take advantage of the ability to write to me and ask me any question. I'll answer you directly. So write to me if you have any questions at all about Forex trading. I'm happy to answer those for you. That's about it for this morning. For our members who are on our trading team, I'll see you guys in our live trading room at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time as the New York Stock Exchange opens. All right, you guys have a great one, and thank you.